Shalom. First, give all credit to Yahweh Bashem Shai, and give a double honors to the men who I learned this truth from, beginning with the apostles and others of Great Millstone. Yahweh Bashem Shai, Barakatham to the hopefully elect, and all the men on down. And I just want to first put the disclaimer that I'm not an official member of GMS. I'm not a member of Great Millstone. But I do learn and study under the Great Millstone doctrine. Just put the disclaimer out there because you got a lot of wolves in sheep's clothing. All right. So to anyone that's curious, all right. So yeah, that's why I put that disclaimer out there. But nevertheless, just looked up this definition of this word clout. All right, and jump down here to the second definition, number 2. It says influence of power, especially in politics or business, and some of the related definitions they got is influence, power, or there it says weight, but in this society, that can be money. It says leverage, control, advantage, authority, stature, rank. All right, and this is some of the definitions similar to the word. But basically, what inspired me to do this video is this video that I'm about to play. It's about 5 minutes long, so just bear with. Just bear through the video if you can. But pretty much it's about a rapper that basically for the clout, of course. So I put this definition up. Basically this rapper basically murdered a couple of individuals for the clout, because Jake, man, so emotional and desperate for attention. They'll do anything to get attention. So again, it's inspired me to do this video because I'm gonna get into I'm gonna get into some precepts, of course. But basically, because you got a lot of you got a lot of Israelites talking about still they're still talking about all Israel being saved, and it's just not the case because it's prophesied that 2/3 of Israel is not gonna make it, right? And because of these 2/3 Jakes, this is why we're still in this condition that we're in. We're still in this hell that we're in. It's because of these 2/3, But nevertheless, like I said, I'm not gonna jump the gun. I'm gonna play this video, and then I'm gonna get into the precept. So just bear through the video. And of course, because they say that he murdered these individuals, pretty much for no reason. Nobody knows why. And a lot of times, when you have these serial killers, like individuals like Jeffrey Dahmer, right? Again, to the average Joe, they don't know and understand these things, but being the prophets of Yahweh Shem Shai, he reveals the secrets unto his prophets, and again, giving us this understanding, all right. Um, you know, a lot of times, a lot of these individuals, they go on these killing sprees or whatnot, and they themselves may not even know why, but what people don't understand is that is actually Yahweh Shem Shai. You know, he's the one that's putting the spirit in these individuals to act out his vengeance, as the scriptures talks about in Ecclesiasticus. There be spirits created for vengeance, right? So Lord, he puts these certain spirits on certain individuals, these death angels, all right, like I mentioned, like individuals like Jeffrey Dahmer, right, to act out his judgment, all right? Because again, you look at someone like this individual, or Jeffrey Dahmer, or these other individuals, when you see their interviews, all right, they're being asked why they're killing these people and whatnot, and again, they don't even know why. They can't tell you, but it's the spirit of Yahweh Shem Shai. All right. So, just a little side note. Let me continue to play this. Also, on another note, a lot of times, we may suffer something, we may go through something, like this individual's case. All right, he was shot in the face, and pretty much, held this grudge in, right? But again, due to the lack of understanding, all right, we pay for sins that we committed in our past lives, all right. And I say that because you still got some Israelite camps. They don't believe in reincarnation. All right, when the scriptures talk about no one perishes, no one dies innocent. All right, no one perishes or suffers innocently. All right, whatever happens to you in one particular life. All right, well, let's just say in this lifetime, um, because you got a lot of children, elderly people, or whatever the case may be. A pregnant woman, she might get hit with a stray bullet, end up killing her and the baby. All right, instances like that. All right, because we know the Lord is no respecter of persons. Um, instances like that. All right, that was actually vengeance or your judgment from Yahweh Shem Yahushai for whatever you did in your past lives. So that's just another note. So continue to play this out. And again, because there's no such thing as a coincidence with Yahweh Shem Shai, no random act or anything like that. All right, if an individual, if he's just out randomly killing people, right, that was actually Yahweh Shem Shai. The Lord had a target, a hit out on him. All right, so again, though it may seem like one night this individual, he's just randomly stalking people, whatever the case may be. Um, but in the eyes of Yahweh Shem Shai, you pretty much he got his, he's hitting his intended target. All right, So again, there's no coincidences with Yahweh Shem Shai. Nothing random when it comes to Yahweh Shem Shai. So, and again, um, though they may seem like random acts, Yahweh Shem Shai had it out for these four individuals. For whatever reason, whatever issue, issues of death, as the scriptures say, they belong to Yahweh Shem Shai. So this was nothing random, all right? Each and every one of these individuals, they, the Lord had it out for them, and the Lord, got his target. So you see that, again, this individual committed these acts, basically, for the clout, did it for the clout, did it for attention, did it for, the bag or whatever, you know. And again, the point of me doing this video, well, let me play it out. I think it's pretty much done. But yeah, nevertheless, that's pretty much it on that. So again, so someone like that, an individual like that, um, because again, you got Israelite camps out here that's still talking about all Israel, saving all Israel, preaching to all Israel. Yeah, for the most part, we teach Jake, whether they believe or not, but that's just, to get the blood off our hands, because, nobody, when the day comes, nobody can say that they weren't told, right? But as far as, trying to save all Israel, man, again, it's prophesied that 2/3 aren't gonna make it, and when it comes to these 2/3, because again, someone, other Israelite camps is still talking this saving all Israel mission, right? And hey man, Jake's not gonna get it. Like I said earlier, let me get this in Isaiah. All Israel's not gonna get it, man. And it's because of these two-third Jakes, we're still in this predicament. We're still in this hell, in this captivity. You know, Esau, here it is, Esau Edom. He's about to roll on the Israelites. He's about to um, come down on Israel, on all camps, right? But these Jakes, these two-third Jakes, they're just giving Esau all the more reason to do so. We get Isaiah 65:11. It says, "But ye are they that forsake Yahweh, that forget my holy mountain, that prepare a table for that troop." All right, and that troop, all right, um, pretty much, going into that flood that talks about in Isaiah 59:19. All right, these different military troops and whatnot. All right, when Esau brings the hammer down. All right, these two-third Jakes, they're giving Esau the more reason, the more excuse to build up propaganda against us. Like this whole, what's this, that one group with Grandmaster Jay or whatever, the not fucking around crew or whatever. Now they're protesting and marching with guns and rifles or whatnot with fringes on, right? Like that's a bad look to the Hebrew Israelite community, because one thing we teach, all right, is, yeah, then there's nothing wrong with um having a firearm, but as long as you're not putting your trust in that, because again, our fight is spiritual. We don't depend on carnality. All right, there's a lot of these Jakes, all right, stacking up on guns or whatnot. um you know that's not our blessing. All right, Esau, they have bigger and better guns, and that's just what the matter is, because that's his blessing at the end of the day, the sword, his guns. All right, but nevertheless, you Jakes out there protesting and rioting, destroying your own communities, right? You got this Black Lives Matter movement, which all these things, they're gonna link to the Hebrew Israelites, which is the point of me saying these things, because you're pretty much preparing the table for Esau, for the troop. You're giving Esau the field that he needs to come against us. All right, so this is part of the. Well, let me finish this out. It says, "And that furnish the drink offering unto that number." So again, this is the one of the reasons why we don't, when it comes to all Israel, all right, our concern is not with all Israel being saved on the side. All right, for the most part, we can care less about the two-third Jakes, you know. And I just wanted to play that video, because it was a good example of, again, why, you know at the end of the day, we can care less about two-thirds. And I was there at one point, concerned with all Israel and all Israel being saved. Most of us were, but again, as you grow and learn, right? You grow in the spirit, and you come to understand these things, that all Jake is not going to be saved on the side. All Israel is not going to get it. All right. When you go to Second Esdras, our concern is not with. It's not. It's not about these two dirt Jakes. Go to Second Esdras, the ninth chapter, and Esdras, he had a lot of questions. It was asking a lot of questions, and that was one of his concerns. Well, what about all Israel? And the Lord told him, don't worry about them. Go to Second Esdras 9, and I go to start at verse 11. It says, "And they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when as yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it." All right. So here it is that Yahweh Shem Shah is giving um, Israel the opportunity to repent, to change, and make amends. But here it is, they pretty much, just spit in the face of Yahweh Shem Shai. That liberty, it pretty much goes into grace, right? Which again, it's a window of opportunity to get it together. But Israel, what is Israel? What do these two-third Jakes do? They, too busy focusing on the clout, right? And chasing the bag and trying to get attention, right? Because one thing about Jake, they, it's just on Jake's spirit to, um, Jake likes to, go after these things because they want the kingdom. All right, deep down inside Jake knows that they want the kingdom, but they try to get it on the side. And, they try to, get some form of that in this kingdom, and it's just it's just not it just doesn't work like that. All right, and they try to get these benefits, the benefits of the kingdom, but this is not the time for it. This is not the place and time for it. Right. So again, this is why a lot of Jake, a lot of these two-thirds, man, they focusing on the bag and chasing clout and all that other nonsense rather than succumbing to the law, statutes, and ordinances of Yahweh Shem Shai. And this is why when you read verse 12, it says the same must know it after death by pain, because they're just not gonna get it, man. All right. Um, After the nuclear missiles, all right, that's when Jake's gonna get it, and that's when they're gonna, that's when the Lord is not gonna have, he's gonna show them that mercy, all right, and they're gonna be that, that's when they're gonna be blessed. They're gonna know it, after death by pain, all right. Jake, it's just that's just how the Lord set it up. Jake has to die. They the two-thirds, they're just gonna have to die horrible deaths, and then they'll get, the benefits of the kingdom. All right, but they're not gonna get it on the side, and that's what these other Jakes, these other Israelite camps, that's what they got to understand. All right, but again, because Esdras, he had a lot of questions concerning these things, and that was one of his questions regarding all Israel being saved. But what did the Lord say? Or what did the Lord tell him? Read verse 13. It says, "And therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, and when." So again, when it comes to the two-thirds, don't worry about them. All right, they're not gonna get it. The Lord sealed their conscience. All right, the Lord has blocked their understanding, and I'm gonna get that in Isaiah the 6th chapter. So again, don't worry about these two-thirds. Reading on, it says, "But inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is, and for whom the world is created." All right. So our main focus is the elect. That's why if you pay attention to watch the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, of course, all right, they're constantly pushing the elect, because that's who it's about. All right, and that's why we do the shows, and the prophets, they're out there in the highways and byways. They're out there fishing for the elect, because that's who it's about at the end of the day. That's what we care about. Feeding the flock of Yahweh Shem Yoshai, and it starts with the elect, because only they're going to get it on this side, and we hope to be of that number. All right, so again, all Israel, they're not going to get it on the side, and once the two-third Jakes perish on this side, and once they have felt that pain after death, all right, they're going to be grafted back in. They're going to come back through the loins of the elect, and that's why they're going to be, that's how they're going to be blessed. That's when the Lord is going to show them that mercy, because they're going to come back, because the seed of the righteous is blessed. And again, they're going to come back. Two-third Jakes, they're going to come back through the loins of the elect. All right, and that's when they'll get it. That's when they'll be in their right mind, and that's when the Lord will have peace with them. Because right now the Lord just simply just rejected them. All right, they rejected right now, but the Lord's not going to have beef with them. Once they come back through one of the loins of the elect. So I'm gonna jump down to verse 22. It says, "Let the multitude perish then, which was born in vain." So you see how the Lord feels about them right now. Their life is pretty much meaningless at this time. They're held to they're here right now to fulfill their lot, fulfill their purpose. Or because again, it's about the elect. All right, and these 2/3 are going to come back through the loins of the elect. So um, it says, "And let my grape be kept in my plant, for with great labor have I made it perfect." All right, so again, it's showing that right now it's about the elect and fishing the elect, feeding the flock of Yahweh Bashim Shai, sealing the elect. That's what it's all about. What it's all about, the elect, the elect. All right, these 2/3, they're not going to get it. So they're not the focus. All right. Get this in Sirach 16. I'm gonna start at verse 1. It says, "Desire not a multitude of unprofitable children, neither delight in ungodly sons." So you see, again, showing you how the Lord feels about them right now. And like I said, myself included, a lot of us, when we first come into this thing, we that spirit's on us to, loving all Israel. And that spirit is on all of us for the most part. But again, as you grow and come to understanding, all right, eventually you just get to the point where, and I remember when I got to that point where I was just like, man, the hell with these 2/3, man. Because again, they're the reason we're still in this captivity. They're the reason we're still in this hell. You try to teach this word to a 2/3 Jake, man, they'll be damn ready to fight you, man. And this is love that you just try to talk to Jake with love and sincerity. You try to correct Jake, but they take it the wrong way, and they be want to fight you and whatnot. It be your own people, man. So this is why you just be like, the hell with Jake, man. The hell with 2/3, because the only remedy for Jake right now is death, that pain by death, as you just read, right? Because Jake is too far gone. They're too far gone. All right, they're to a place of no return, and this is why again, they gotta die by fire. They gotta be purified by that fire, that nuclear missiles. All right. Um. Um. Jump down to verse 6. It says, "In the congregation of the ungodly shall a fire be kindled, and a rebellious nation wrath is set on fire." So you see, this is what's in store for the 2/3. All right. Because they're a rebellious nation. Jake is it's a rebellious people, man. Here it is. The Lord did all these wondrous works for us, did all these things for us, and Jake, man, they don't take into consideration. Jake is selfish as hell, inconsiderate, just straight up disrespectful. All right, and even in the ancient world, all right, because as I just read in the first verse, all right, ungodly sons, or unprofitable children back in the ancient world, all right. If a child, man, it, if you were dealing with a child that was just straight up rebellious, man, they only got worse. The more you punished them, the more they got worse. All right, the only remedy was death. All right, I mean, there's not more you can do, but you put them to death, and that was that's in our law. That's what they did in the ancient world. And an unprofitable child, man, a child that just doesn't want to listen, just doesn't want to be, just wants to be rebellious, you just put them to death, man. And that's how these 2/3 Jakes are today. They're just unprofitable, degenerates. All right, and no, like I said, the only remedy for these Jakes, man, is death. All right, the Lord just got to take them out, man. The only remedy is death. All right, I'm gonna go to 2nd Esdras 1:8. Just a rebellious people, man. It says, "Pull thou off then the hair of thy head, and cast all evil upon them, for they have not been obedient unto my law, but it is a rebellious people." So you see, again, talk about these 2/3 Jakes, man. Jake is rebellious as hell, man, and the Lord's had it up to here with these unprofitable children, these degenerates, because that's what these 2/3 they are. They're number degenerates. All right, we get that. And 2nd Esdras, not 2nd Esdras, Jeremiah 2 and 21. Here it is, Yahweh Shem Shai created Israel to be, the kings and priests, created us in his image. All right, but here it is, you got these jakes, man, because when it comes to anything, all right, Jake knows how to excel in anything that they do, and that includes wickedness. All right, so you just go outside and see how these flaming homosexuals, these jakes, man, they take things to a whole nother level, man. And again, the Lord has had it up to here with Jake's nonsense. All right, but again, here it is. The Lord created us to be the holiest, holy people, man, a priesthood. All right, we're the ones that are supposed to be showing these other nations on how to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shem Shai. But look at us. All right, we're a laughing stock. We're a proverb and byword. All right, we're in astonishment. These other nations, man, they're looking at us, man. We're a joke right now. And that's what I'm about to get here in Jeremiah 2 and 21. It says, "Yet I have planted thee a noble vine, wholly a right seed." So here it is, Yahweh Shem Shai planted us to be the righteous of the earth, right? Yasha'Allah, princes of the power, sons of the power, right? But it says, "How then art thou turned into the degenerate plant of a strange vine unto me?" We became an unrecognizable vine unto Yahweh Shem Shai. Unprofitable. But the difference again, and this is why it's about the elect, because only the elect, man, they're gonna, the elect right now, they're taking advantage of that liberty, that grace period that Yahweh Shem Shai has given us to actually change and make amends, all right, for our wrongdoings. That's the difference between the elect and all Israel, the 1/3 and the 2/3, all right. Because only a remnant's going to be saved. The Lord's not going to, and that's one thing. Yahweh Shem Shai, he's not going to, he's not going to, he's not going to, pretty much bring all Israel, like he did in ancient Egypt, when he delivered us, all right, and Jake, how rebellious Jake was in ancient Egypt, and the Lord, pretty much it's not going to be a redo of ancient Egypt, because like I said, the Lord is he's gonna leave a small remnant, which is again the elect, only they're going to get it, because for the most part we're paying for our sins, we're paying for our transgressions against Yahweh Shem Shai, but sure enough, these 2/3, man, they're gonna start getting theirs, all right, and again, it's gonna be by pain and death, all right, but again, these 2/3 jakes, man, they're not but degenerates, all right. These are not my words, I'm just a messenger, because again, I'm gonna say it again, 2/3 jakes, they're not but degenerates, all right, unprofitable children, all right, we're unrecognizable vine. And the only remedy is death. I'm gonna go ahead and get that in Isaiah 6th chapter, and start at verse 9. Because you got some of the prophets, they were like I mentioned with Esdras, some of the prophets they were concerned about all Israel, like Jeremiah, the weeping prophet, he was concerned about Israel, all Israel. But eventually, he even got to a point that he was like, "Man, the hell with these people, man. Fuck these 2/3, fuck these wicked Jakes, man. Because you know how Jake is, man. Just hard headed. You try to give them this message, man, and they'll be ready to fight you for it, man. And this is a labor of love, I'll go ahead and read this. Isaiah 6 in verse 9, it says, "And he said, Go And tell this people, hear ye indeed, but understand not, and see ye indeed, and perceive not. Make the heart of this people fat, and make their ears heavy, and shut their eyes, lest they see with their eyes, and hear with their ears, and understand with their heart, and convert and be healed. All right. So again, because ultimately, it's the Lord. He's the one that's blocking, the understanding of these 2/3. All right. This is why they're just not going to get it, because the Lord, it's not set up for them to get it. They're not going to get it. Reading in verse 11, it says, "Then said I, Lord, how long?" And he answered, until. So how long, Isaiah is asking, how long are these, these Israelites, how long are they going to be blinded? How long are you going to block them from getting this understanding? It says, until the cities be wasted without inhabitant, and the houses without man, and the land be utterly destroyed, or utterly desolate. All right, and again, until those nuclear missiles hit, all right, and Jake's getting burnt up by those ICBM missiles, the nuclear fire, all right, that's when the Lord have that mercy on them. That's when the Lord will he won't have beef with them, because again, after that, all right, that's when they'll be grafted, or they'll come back through the loins of one of the elect, and they'll be in their right state of mind. That's when that's when they're going to be birthed into the new covenant. All right, because the elect, when Yahushua shows up during that time, all right, the elect, they're going to be changed in a twinkling of an eye, and they're going to be established. That's when the new covenant is going to be established. All right, when they're changed in a twinkling of an eye, and they have those immortal and indestructible bodies. All right, and then eventually you're going to have the 2/3. They're going to come back through the loins of the elect, and that's when they're going to be, brought back. That's when they're going to be born. That's how they're going to be born into the new covenant, through the loins of the elect. And that's when the Lord is no longer going to have beef with the 2/3, because all Israel. That's when all Israel is going to be saved. That's when all Israel is going to be saved. That's when they're all going to get it. So you see, they're not going to get it on this side. They're just not going to get it. And that's another topic in itself, dealing with This is why we need to fear Yahweh Shem Shai, because he can send you over to a mind like that. All right, we're out there chasing clout and doing things for attention, doing things for money. All right, you get that in Second Thessalonians 2:11. All right, the Lord actually has it to where certain people they can't get it, man, and that's a scary thing. Even in the truth, you have very diligent men. Men have been doing it 10 years, 20 years, and they end up falling out, and they become degenerates, they become reprobates. That's a scary thing. All right, you don't want to be one of those individuals that is used to you pretty much, you don't want to be made an example out of on when it comes to wickedness, when it comes to the left hand. All right, that's a scary thing. I'm gonna read this in 2 Thessalonians 2:11. It says, and for this cause the Most High shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie. So you see, you don't want to be one of those individuals, because one thing, when it comes to the elect, all right, and we believe that certain brothers, they're going to be getting spiritual powers, all right, and for the most part, are going to be used, we say, as death angels, but in righteousness, all right, because during that time, when the elect, when they get those spiritual powers, all right, they're going to be putting some of these 2/3 to death, all right. But that's going to be done in righteousness on the right hand side. See, you don't want to be one of these individuals where the Lord uses you as like like this individual, or like a Jeffrey Dahmer, right? And pretty much plagues your mind with spirits from the left hand, and pretty much you're used as an example on the left hand. You don't want to be you don't want that to befall your life. You don't want that to befall you, and that's a scary thing, because the Lord can send you over to, that reprobate mind. But like I said, that's like a video in itself, man. Just, it's why you need to want to fear Yahweh Shem Shai. It's crazy, man. But, yeah, man. All 2/3, man. These all Israel, man. They're not gonna get it on the side, man. That's what Jake needs to understand. It's about the elect, man. It's all about the elect, and only the elect are going to get it on this side. So just want to touch on that real quick. Hopefully you were edified. And once again, we give all credit to Yahweh Shemel Shai. Double honors to the men who I learned this truth from. Start with the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Until next time, I say Shalom.